Why is Loving Month so important for people all around the world? Well, as an interracial love coach and matchmaker, I believe that if you desire to be in an interracial relationship, it is highly important for you to know about this part of history and to understand that interracial relationships are actually a privilege and was once illegal here in the United States as well in other countries. And there are so many people who have sacrificed their lives and their families so that you and I today in 2024 can choose to date and marry whomever we desire. Lovebirds, welcome to Ask the Loveologist.
April, the loveologist, she's got a lesson or two.
Well, I'm April. I'm your favorite loveologist. I'm a certified matchmaker, a certified love coach, and the president and CEO at AuthentiQ LOVE, where interracial relationships are our number one priority. Before we dig in, let's take care of a few items. Make sure that you get your subscription of the Interracial Love Chronicles, and you want to do that as fast as possible because the next one comes out this week, and we never know when social media might decide to take a nap on us, and you don't want to have any interruptions in receiving your Interracial Love Chronicles because I know you really want to get that wisdom that comes from those chronicles so that you can make your way on to your forever partner. So don't forget to subscribe to the Interracial Love Chronicles. You may also desire to have one-on-one coaching. I'm going to put my calendar under this video so that you can reserve your spot. We can have a discovery session and decide what areas you would like to have my assistance in. Now, we've got something new and exciting coming your way, and you want to make sure that you keep your eyes peeled for the shorts and the reels that I'll be putting out and announcing this new course that we have coming your way. It's titled Roadmap to Your Forever Partner. We're going to be setting up a waiting list. The seating will be very limited, so you want to make sure that you keep your eyes peeled so that you can be one of the first persons to get on that waiting list for this course. It is going to be dynamite. Now, I know some of you may have some questions about this particular broadcast or maybe some previous broadcasts, and you may also have some suggestions on topics that you would like for me to cover. So you are welcome to email me at TheLoveologist@AuthenticLove.com. The links to all of this is going to be under this video. So go ahead and tap whichever link you desire and send me the information that you prefer for me to have. Now let's dig in. If you watched the interview that I had on Saturday on Fran and Friends with Francis Fomé, then one of the things that you know is that this particular topic is very near and dear to my heart. I truly believe that if you want to be in an interracial relationship, it is very important for you to know this part of history and to understand that interracial relationships are actually a privilege and was illegal 57 years ago, not only here in the United States, but in other countries as well. When I am chatting with particularly African American people, and we're discussing dating, and we come to a point to where I'm suggesting to them that in order to expand their pool of potential mates, they may want to try dating outside their culture. Well, when I say this to them, I typically get this objection. Well, you know how they used to treat us back in slavery days. And my brain is just screaming, can you please come into this century? Because so many people have sacrificed so that you could have this privilege. And not just to have the privilege of being able to date and marry as an interracial couple, but to be able to sleep at peace at night, knowing that you don't have to worry about somebody coming to your house and dragging you out of bed and taking you off to jail, knowing that you can plan to get married and not even have to go to another state to do it. Interracial relationships are simply a privilege, and we have the privilege to do that right now, right here in the US. You see, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., in his I Have a Dream speech, he said, "One day, right there in Alabama, little black boys and little black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and little white girls as sisters and brothers." We are actually living out Dr. King's dream. There are blended families, and there are also biracial people. So, what he was describing has actually manifested, and we are living his dream. In 1967, that would be June the 12th, 1967, in a Supreme Court case, Loving versus Virginia, the Supreme Court unanimously decided that the rest of the states in the US would need to become legal for interracial relationships. That was 57 years ago. And by the way, I was alive at that time. But when you say that to people, even if they already knew about the Loving versus Virginia case, or they're just learning about it new, what they assume is that the 50 United States had it illegal for interracial relationships, but on June 12th, 1967, they all had to shift and make it legal. But that's not how it happened. You see, there was actually 9 states that had never enacted the anti-miscegenation laws. Now, like I was saying, the last few states who were not legal had to become legal. But here's the deal. Dear sweet old Alabama had to do it their way. They couldn't change like everybody else did at the same time that everybody else did. So Alabama was the last state to officially remove its unenforceable ban on interracial marriage from its state constitution until 2000. Yes, that was 33 years after the Supreme Court ruling in Loving versus Virginia. So, again, I want you to understand this history as well as the fact that this is a privilege. And you know something? Every year that I do this, I learn a few new things. So, one of the things that I learned new this year as I was going back researching again is about the 9 states that did not participate in the anti-miscegenation laws. Those states were Connecticut, New Hampshire, New York, New Jersey, Vermont, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Alaska, Hawaii, and Washington, D.C. And you're saying, now what was that word again? The word was anti-miscegenation laws. And you're saying, what did that mean? Okay. I'm going to read to you the definition that is in Webster's dictionary. However, I'm going to paraphrase one part of it because if I say what it said, I'm not sure if they're going to allow me to stay on social media. So, miscegenation, according to Webster's dictionary, means a mixture of races, especially marriage, cohabitation, consummating a marriage between a white person and a member of another race. You see, they considered this interracial relationships to be a felony. And as I was saying, the anti-miscegenation laws were not only in the United States, they were also in other countries. Not only were they in other countries, they were not just there to control what African people or African American people were doing. The laws were actually happening around the world, and therefore they affected also intercultural relationships. So this is also special to people from other countries as well. So in South Africa, there is the South Africa's Prohibition of Mixed Marriages Act. It was passed in 1949 under apartheid. It forbade marriages between whites and anyone who deemed to be non-white. So that also included Indians. In parts of Australia, they used the anti-miscegenation clauses to control who specifically Aboriginal peoples could marry. And if you remember, several broadcasts back, I talked about why your parents and your grandparents have objections to your interracial relationship. And I'm fixing to tell you this about China so that you can really, really understand why your parents and grandparents may have an objection to your interracial relationship, and also to see how it really affected people in other countries. So in China, laws and policies which discouraged miscegenation was passed during the rule of various dynasties, including an 836 AD decree which forbade Chinese people from having relationships with members of other people groups such as Iranians, Arabs, Indians, Malays, Sumatrans, Sumatrans, if I'm saying that correctly, and so on. So this was the Iranians, the Arabs, the Indians, the Malays, the Sumatrans, and so on. All of these different cultures were also being affected by these miscegenation laws. And so, again, it is important for you to know this part of history. So what we do here at Authentic Love is we spend the entire month celebrating Loving Month, whereas other people may only celebrate on June the 12th. So we start off with our welcome as we are doing today, but we also, during the rest of the month, I'll be posting various interviews. These interviews may be live. These interviews may also be audible only. On June the 12th, we'll actually watch the Loving movie. You're welcome to join us. I'll be putting the link to that under this video. You'll be able to actually communicate or chat with people in the chat box because we'll be doing it via Zoom. And it's very good for you to actually be able to communicate with other people. Maybe somebody else noticed a different lesson in the movie, or they noticed something else happening in the movie that you didn't see. And the chat box will be a great place for you to make comments or ask questions. Maybe you'll ask somebody what happened right there or whatever. But when we have the movie, this is where a lot of people get to see a lot of the real life action-packed things that may or may not happen in an interracial relationship. And I'm going to tell you, there is one line in this movie that Mr. Loving says that sets my soul on fire. And you'll have to join us in watching the movie so that you can see what line I'm talking about. And then at the end of the month, we will have a celebration of life. And let me backtrack, because I want to talk a little bit about the movie. Several years after the law was passed, there is some interviews with some of the guys that worked at the jail. And many of them agreed that the jail was actually no place to have a woman because they said the toilets didn't even work in this jail. And Mildred Jeter was actually pregnant at the time. So, no, she had no business being in a place like that. And another thing that happens in this movie that is for me, was very attention getting was that they allowed her husband to leave the very next day, but they kept her there in the jail. There are several other exciting attention getting items in this movie. So I'm going to tell you, you want to join in with us and take a peek so that you can enjoy the movie as well. So don't forget to get your soft drinks and your popcorn and just be ready to sit back, relax, and enjoy. And again, as I said, the last week of the month, we actually have a celebration of life. Why do we do that? Because I am so thankful to be able to serve you as an interracial love coach and matchmaker. So we do spend the last week of the month really, really celebrating. And there'll be a lot of special posts that you're going to want to make sure that you check out. Well, once again, I just want to remind you to sign up for that Interracial Love Chronicles. Go ahead and reserve your spot on my calendar so you can have that discovery session and we can get going on some one-on-one coaching with you. And definitely be prepared to catch that reel or the videos that say roadmap to your forever partner so that you can be one of the first persons that get on that waiting list and you can be one of the first persons that actually have a spot because this course is going to have limited seating. Well, it's been my pleasure to serve you this evening. I'm April, the LOVEologist. I'm a certified matchmaker, a certified love coach, the president and CEO at AuthentiQ LOVE, where interracial relationships are our number one priority. I look forward to seeing you in the comments on our next broadcast. Bye-bye now.
She's a love coach, a matchmaker, making dreams come true. She's a champion of interracial love, breaking down the wall. Level up your dating experience to answer love's call.